In 1915, the Kingdom of Italy joined the First World War on the side of the Entente of Britain, France, and Russia. Thus began a long and brutal conflict against the Italians' former allies, the Central Powers, Germany and Austria-Hungary. But why? Why did Italy switch sides against its old allies in the First World War?
Hi, I'm Alexander Peterson, and welcome to Dinohistorians. Today, we will answer a confusing question. Why did Italy switch sides in the First World War?
At the beginning of the war, the Kingdom of Italy was on the side of the Central Powers through the Triple Alliance, an alliance between Germany, Austria-Hungary, and Italy. Yet when war broke out in July 1914, Italy chose neutrality and actually ended up joining the war on the side of the Entente later in 1915.
But why? Well, to find that out, we have to go back to when the Kingdom of Italy first became independent.
We begin in 1861. The rise of nationalism has been taking place across Europe for the last several years, with many new nations emerging. The Kingdom of Piedmont Sardinia, or now the Kingdom of Italy, has finally united most of the Italian peninsula into a single sovereign nation after many decades of unification. The only parts of the Italian lands that still need to be unified with the kingdom is Venice, which is still under the control of the Austrians, and the Papal States, which contain the great city of Rome, under the control of the Pope, who is protected by French troops stationed in his territories. This greatly worsens relations between the new Italy and France, as Italy seeks to complete its unification and unite with Rome. The Kingdom of Italy would get to unite with Venice 5 years later in 1866, after Italy sided with Prussia in the Austro-Prussian War against Austria, which Prussia and Italy were victorious. Austria refused to give up Venice to Italy, stating that they did not want to give territory to those they didn't think deserved it, and promptly gave the territory to France. But France very quickly gave the territory to Italy anyways, to better Franco-Italian relations, uniting the two entities and bettering relations with France. Italy would also ask for the annexation of the Austrian territories of South Tyrol, Trieste, and many lands and islands along the coast of the Adriatic Sea, which hold a large minority of ethnic Italians. However, this request is refused by the Austrians, which does not please the Italians, who will long covet these territories. The Kingdom of Italy would finally get to unite the entire peninsula in 1870 when the Franco-Prussian War broke out. French troops stationed in the Papal States to protect the Pope were withdrawn back to France to fight the Prussians. This allowed Italian forces to enter the Papal States with little resistance and take control of Rome, finally uniting the Italian peninsula with Rome being the new capital.
This would change Italy forever and would see the nation rise on the world stage as a major global power. The new united Italy begins a colonial policy. It obtains colonies in Africa,
such as Eritrea, Italian Somaliland, and Libya from the Ottoman Empire. Italy attempts to obtain the province of Tunisia in North Africa, but the French seize the colony first, which greatly upsets the Italians, who have long coveted the territory because of its large ethnic Italian population. This greatly worsens relations with France once again, as Italy begins to distance itself from France and its allies. Tensions between France and Italy grow rapidly, and fearing losing a war to France, Italy moves diplomatically closer to the newly united German Empire and their former enemy and subjugator, the Austro-Hungarian Empire. The Italians sign an alliance with Germany and Austria-Hungary, not long after Germany and Austria-Hungary created the Dual Alliance, creating the Triple Alliance. Shortly after the formation of the Triple Alliance, the Triple Entente is formed between the British, the French, and the Russian empires. Tensions grow rapidly between the two alliances, and it seems that the continent is on the brink of war. However, with the looming fear of war on the Italians and their French opponents, in 1902, Italy and France create a secret peace treaty between the two nations, so in the event of war, Italy would not have to fight France and its allies, but could still have the backing of Germany and Austria-Hungary if needed. This is why when the First World War broke out in July 1914, Italy declared neutrality. It also helped the Italians that the Triple Alliance, unlike the Triple Entente, was not a military alliance, but was a defensive alliance. And the Austro-Hungarian Empire was acting as the aggressor in the conflict by declaring war on Serbia, which also did not force the Italians to join the conflict. During the beginning stages of the war, there was a great divide in Italy on whether or not to join the war, and if so, on which side. In choosing a side in the war, it soon came down to who could offer Italy the most. The Central Powers offered Corsica, Tunisia, Malta, and some French border territories to Italy if they joined on the side of the Central Powers. And the Entente offered the Austrian territories of South Tyrol, Trieste, and many lands and islands along the coast of the Adriatic Sea. Italy much more preferred what the Entente were offering, because Italy had long coveted these territories from Austria-Hungary, who refused to cede these territories to them. And so, Italy signed the Treaty of London on April 26, 1915, with the Entente nations, agreeing to support the Entente in the war. And shortly after, Italy began preparations for war. Italy officially withdrew from the Triple Alliance a few weeks later, on May 3rd. And on May 23rd, 1915, Italy declared war on Austria-Hungary, beginning Italy's involvement in the First World War.
The Kingdom of Italy switched sides in the First World War from the Central Powers to the Entente Powers because it was the much safer option. What the Entente were offering to Italy was way more appealing than what the Central Powers were offering, due to Italy, ever since independence, desiring these territories. Thank you so much for watching Dino Historians, and we will see you on the next great adventure into history.